So, yesterday, turn to page 9-3. 9-3. So, Shauna, you weren't here, but what we did was we walked through this problem for problem solving, okay? And we talked about how sometimes it's hard to determine exactly what we need to do to solve a problem, like which operation to do. So, Trelawney, when I say which operation, what do I mean?
By like subtracting, adding?
Yes, subtracting, adding, multiply, or divide. Take. Subtracting, adding, multiplying, or dividing, okay? So that's which operation. And so kind of the first step of the battle, right, is reading a word problem and then figuring out which operation it needs to solve it, okay? So yesterday, I'm gonna grab yours, is that okay? Yesterday, it says Reuben bought 3 gifts for his sisters. 2 of the gifts cost the same. So then use this picture to help us understand that 2 of the gifts cost the same. The other gift costs 3 more than the other 2. So if the other 2 cost $3, then Reuben's gift costs, which is 6.
Or 6.
Okay. The total amount he spent was 27. So this walked us through the guess and check method. So Shauna, what do you think is guess and check?
You guess it, like you guess the answer and then you check.
Right, you guess and then you plug it in and you see if it works, right? So for this one, we use the formula gift plus gift plus 3, right? Because that's a formula that we can use it and plug in our guesses. So we know these 2 are G plus G or gift plus gift because they cost the same thing. So what did they try first?
They tried 9 plus
9. They tried 9 first. So then it would be 9 plus 9 plus, what's 9 plus 3?
No, 9 plus 3 is
12. So then 9 and 9 is 18 plus 12. What does that equal? 30. 8 and 2 is 10. 1 and 1 is, or 10 and 10 is 20. So we get 30. So that's too much. So if that's too much, how do we have to adjust? How do we have to adjust? Do we go from 9 to 10 or from 9 to 8? Then we try 8. So 8 and 8 is 16. What's 8 plus 3?
11.
11. So 8 and 8 is 16 plus 11 is what? 27. So then we'd say, okay, well, G equals $8, which means Reuben's gift equals $11. Okay, so that's just a quick review of what we did yesterday. So today, I want to look at these 4 problems. I had these girls kind of get started on, but we ran out of time. So we're going to go over those, and then we're going to gradually step through some of these other word problems. And the exit ticket you will do today will be 4 word problems that you're going to do on your own. Okay, and you're going to do them completely on your own to let me know that you know what we're doing here. Okay, word problems are hard, and it's okay for them to be hard. I have to read them a lot of times. I have to read them through first. Then I go back and pick out my important information, and I use this strategy. So we're going to talk through guess and check, but I'm going to show you this like I did yesterday, because that's just for me the easiest way. So let's look at today. Explain why gift plus gift plus 3 is used to solve the equation. Well, we just talked about that. Why do we use a formula instead of just picking numbers and putting them places? Why did we write out like a formula to use? So it'll make sense, okay? More specifically?
I wrote off what the other gifts cost.
So we can figure out what the other gifts cost, okay? Because the other gift, we know that these are the same, and the other gift is gift plus 3. And G represents a number that we don't know, right? It's our number that we're having to guess and check. So we call this a variable. And as we move further into algebra, that's what we call a variable. It's just something that we don't know. If I put a star here and a star here, plus star plus 3, would it be the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, because this star is then just representing a quantity or an unknown amount that we're trying to figure out. Okay. So then explain why the first guess was 9 instead of a smaller number. Why do you think we started with 9 instead of something smaller?
Maybe it's not too big of a number, it's not.
It's kind of halfway between. Because what's our final amount? What's our total? What was the total they spent on the gifts? 27. So it's like, okay, well, you know, like 10 after 20, and you know, maybe they're just shot in the dark. They don't want it to be too small because maybe we won't get all the way up to 27. And then maybe if it's too big, we're going to go over. Now, for this next question, you're getting ready to see why we use a formula like this. And if you guys get good at, and this, I really enjoy kind of teaching you how to interpret language into math symbols, like what words usually equal what symbols, because if you can get good at coming up with these, it's so much easier. Because look at, what does number 3 say? Trelawney, what does it say?
Suppose Ruben spent $31 on the gifts, how much does each gift cost?
So, and suppose instead of 27, suppose instead of $27, it's 39. So now, do we have to change this formula at all? No. We're just changing what it equals, which then is going to change what G equals, right? Yeah. Okay, so now we have to figure out what plus what plus 3 equals 39. What number should we start with? What about 10? So we'd have 10, 20, and then what's 10 plus 3? It's 13. So 10 to it, that'd be 33.
So,
Right? Okay, so you're going to go up because we're not quite there yet. So let's try 11. 11 and 11 is what? 22. What's 11 plus 3? 14. So 22 plus 14, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3 is 36.
Oh, and then 3 more is 39.
So what do we need to do here?
So 11.
No, I already added the G plus 3 is 14. So 11's not going to work.
Add 3.
So do I go up to 12 here?
No, 36 plus 3.
I can't just add 3. The formula is G plus G, 11 plus 11, plus 11 plus 3, which was 14, and we already did that, and we got 36. Yes. Try 12, okay? 12 plus 12 is what? 24. What's 12 plus 3? 15. So 24 plus 15 is... So what does G equal? 12. Good job. Let's write that down. That's perfect. Perfect guess and checks. I talked about this a little bit yesterday. This is a brace map, and it shows whole to part relationships. So like all the parts were listed here, and then this is the whole. So if this is like a pumpkin pie is the whole thing, then the individual pieces would be like pumpkin, flour, eggs, lots of sugar, crust. It'd be like all the different parts, okay? So for me, it's easier to break down what we know. So what do we know? We know
That
she photographed 20 dogs and owners in all together. So I'm going to put 20 dogs / owners, okay? If there was a total of 64 legs, okay? No, 64 legs, okay? So what else do we know that's not necessarily right there in the problem, but what else do we know about people, dogs, and legs? Think about it. We have to know how many, what's the question asking?
How many dogs and owners?
How many dogs and owners were there? So what's the problem asking? I put that right here. how many dogs and owners. So it's some combination of 20, right? Photograph 20 dogs and owners, but there were 64 legs. So it's some combination of 20. What do we know though about numbers of legs? Are my number of legs different than my dog's number of legs?
Yes.
How?
Because there's wheels and 2 legs and dogs have 4.
Dogs have 4 legs.
That's like
People have 2. So knowing this, so dogs equal 4 legs. People equal 2. Now that's what we call an inference. We're using what we already know mixed with what we've read in the problem, because he didn't say, now keep in mind, dogs have 4 legs. No, the author is assuming we kind of have that figured out by now. Karina's making twice as much fruit punch as lemonade. Look,
ow.
twice as much. That means times 2, correct?
Yep. I thought you were wearing cat ears or something. I thought you were wearing what?
Cat ears. Look, is ready to listen? Okay. Karina's making twice as much fruit punch as lemonade. So we've got lemonade, and we've got lemonade times 2 would equal fruit punch.
I thought that was
Okay, she's making 12 gallons total. So Karina, she's got twice as much fruit punch as lemonade. So we've got lemonade, and then we've got lemonade times 2, which is how much fruit punch she has. She's making 12 gallons total. So what do we know? We know this. We know 12 gallons total. How many gallons will be fruit punch, and how many will be lemonade? So we've got L,
So we're doing guess and check still.
yeah, L gallons plus L times 2 gallons equals 12. I want you to plug in different numbers for L. And see, now they're both L, so they have to be the same number. So if you plug in like 5, okay, it has to be 5 plus 5 times 2, because we have the same variable. Shona, we set the same variable. Here we had P and D, because we figured out through our guess and check that they needed to be different numbers. They weren't going to be the same. If the variable letter we're using for the variable is the same, it's representing the same amount.
Can't you use G and L?
No, because they're the same number. Because it's twice as much as the lemonade. Whatever the lemonade is, it's that times 2 is how much fruit punch she made.
So we're basically okay.
Why?
So no, Shauna, listen.
We understand.
Listen. So you're putting L and L. So like if you guess a number, you're gonna put it in both spaces, and you're gonna do whatever you do, and then you're gonna times it by 2.
Because the timesing 2, because it's twice as much lemonade, twice as much fruit punch as lemonade.
It's not a question. I just want to know myself. If we have the same number, do we add it together or are we timesing it together?
Well, this is L times 2. We're adding the answers here. So let's say we did 4. It would be 4 plus, look up here, Shauna.
Oh,
4 times 2 equals, what's 4 times 2? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, I just solved it for you.
Okay. But what is that?
So how much is lemonade? 4 gallons. How much is fruit punch? 8 gallons.
Or 8.
Because the fruit punch was lemonade times 2.
But why does that L have to be over there? Why can't we have to add that?
L is lemonade plus fruit punch equals 12 gallons. The fruit punch is lemonade times 2 because we made twice as much of it. So we made 8 gallons of fruit punch, whereas 4 gallons is lemonade. Because 8 is twice as much as 4. The formula is for us to plug in our guess and check numbers. Formula stays the same and our numbers change until we get the right answer. So L stands for lemonade. If we did 4 gallons of lemonade, how many gallons of fruit punch did we do? Well, it says it's twice as much as lemonade. Twice as much of 4 is 8, which is why we have times 2. So whatever we plugged in here would be twice as much as here. So whatever L is, the fruit punch is L times 2 because it's twice the lemonade. Okay? Okay, so on Sunday there was tickets, but on Saturday it was whatever else on Sunday plus 50, right? Yeah, Sunday, it was even half. We have 50 more tickets sold on Saturday than on Sunday. So Sunday we have sold tickets. Saturday was Sunday plus 50 equals Saturday. Right? 150 tickets. Saturday was whatever sold on Sunday plus 50, and then whatever sold on Sunday. So about 450 years old. So we got 150 tickets. Right? Now we write a formula. 150 plus S plus S plus 50 equals 450. You write that formula and 5 times 1 plus 1. That's what I'm talking. Oh my gosh. So 150 tickets plus whatever sold on Sunday plus whatever sold on Saturday, which is Sunday plus 50. Is that the information now? Is that they sold 50 more tickets on Saturday? And on Sunday. We don't know how much tickets they sold on Sunday. Dude, 50 more than 150. On Saturday they sold 50 more than they did on Sunday. Because we just Sunday. So we get tickets on Sunday. So we figure out how many sold Saturday. So we add 150 and hopefully we'll 50. Okay, well, 50 more plus 50 is 100. It's not 50 plus 50. We know that on Friday, this is Friday. They sold this. We know what they did on Saturday. We know what they did on Sunday. But we know the one is 50 more than that. Okay? So here's what we do. We take 450 and subtract 150. Right? 450 minus 100 is 350. Minus another 50 is 300. So we can do S plus 50 equals 100. To have the ability to figure out what this is. So S is 100. Let's guess S is 100. Plug in 150 plus 100 plus 150 and see if it's your answer. John, if you're doing concerts. I know, I'm just trying to share. We don't know how many sold Sunday, but we do know that they sold 50 more of that amount for Saturday show. So we can check. So 150 plus S plus Saturday night, which is S plus 50 equals 450. I subtracted 150 just so that we focus on this part. No, the part equals 50. Some combination equals 300. After subtracting 150. So if I go 100, 150 plus 100 plus 150 equals 450. Let's see if that's right. 150 is 300 plus 100 is 400. So that's not quite right for S to be 100. But it's close. So you might need to try to get a little more than 100. Like 125. 125. You see it's like 15, 25. So 125. For S, 125. 125 plus 50, 175. You didn't add 175. You just 50 S plus 50. They did not sell 50 tickets on Saturday. They sold the same amount they sold on Sunday night, but 50 more, which is where I added 50. So if you're doing 125 for S, this would be 125 plus 50, which is 175. You see that? We're not adding 50, we're adding 50, whatever our amount was. I'm guessing. You guys are go. This is not 150 plus, are you doing 125 this? Plus 125 plus 175. Look at that. Hey, don't immediately say I don't get it, because then you turn your brain off and you don't think anymore. And you're capable of a lot more than you know. Okay? You don't have to believe me yet. I'm going to prove it to you. But you're capable of doing a lot more. But you immediately say, I don't get it. And that means your brain does. I'm not going to think anymore. Okay? You always should be learning new things. And you're all capable, or else I wouldn't be teaching it to you. I've done this long enough to know who's capable, who's not. Can you give us going?
Yeah.